You have found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls, and the Chicago Bulls are apparently turning down top 10 pick offers. Pat, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Pat may go off, y'all. I'm just warning y'all. Pat may go nuclear. Also, we now know some of the players that the Bulls have set up pre-draft workouts with, and me and Pat like a couple of names on that list. And then also the Boston Celtics win their 18th NBA, I almost said WNBA,
you almost had a
NBA
stroke
title.
right there.
Yeah, because I almost said WNBA. I was like, hey, even though I hate the Celtics, that's wild. We're going to get into all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. And Pat, it was all good about a week ago. It really wasn't. It hasn't been good for a while there. But we've been talking a lot about the potential of using Alex Caruso in a trade deal to move up in the draft or maybe outright acquire another pick. Well, it seems like that may have been on the table, that the Chicago Bulls have been, according to Will Gottlieb, were offered a pick in the top 10 and turned it down due to a mandate from ownership to keep the team playoff competitive. Now, to add some color to this, we are on a new network next season. The new network is owned by Jerry Reinsdorf. When you're trying to adopt people to a new network, it does help if your teams do look like they are competing. On top of that's just been Jerry's MO since Jerry was born all the way back in 1847. With that said, Pat, how are you feeling about this news?
First and foremost, I want to apologize to Acme. Because I probably wouldn't have brought as much slander your way if I knew that you were trying to work with your hands tied. Now I have to question every move that hasn't been made or has been made based on the Reinsdorf's meddling. My issue with this is this sends a clear message that you're just trying to be competitive. You're not trying to compete. You're not trying to win enough games to win an NBA championship. And when ownership puts that message out there, what's the point of paying attention to the team? What's the point of focusing in on the games? Because the games don't matter. When ownership says we're not willing to try and attain the best team for the season, the games don't matter. Next season does not matter. It just doesn't. Because Jerry Reinsdorf isn't willing to allow Acme, who clearly has been getting these calls and surprisingly has turned them down, right? When you're talking about a top 10 pick, you're turning them down because you want to remain competitive next season. And let's not even Reinsdorf's this. We know who this is. Because I've watched the Chicago White Sox. I watched our window open up. And then I watched Jerry Reinsdorf go handpick his best old friend to manage that team and immediately slam that door shut.
Now, I do want to add into this that they're not saying necessarily that happened this offseason. They don't put a time frame on it, but saying that, read the direct blurb. According to the source with knowledge of the situation, the Bulls have received offers from multiple teams consisting of multiple protected first-round picks ahead of the 2024 trade deadline. Of those deals included a pick that ended up being in the top 10. So it's not that they knew it was a top 10, but the pick ended up being in the top 10. So maybe it has changed now to where the Bulls maybe are more open to trading out. I just want to throw that out there because there is that possibility.
I like that you're trying to add context and make this cute. It's the same thing that we've seen. It's the same thing Rick Hahn went through. You can put together whatever team you want. There's always going to be a limit on it. We've seen the Bulls put multiple good teams together. It didn't matter. The team right after the championship team should have developed into a good team, but you didn't want to pay two coaches. Meanwhile, all 5 of your starting 5 minus Jay Williams were all-stars at some point in their career. The team after that, oh my goodness, we got the baby Bulls. We're building something here. Okay, we're making some things happen. Next team, all right, we got Derrick Rose in here. We can't go out and get into the luxury tax for a shooting guard. Why we got John Salmons?
They did go into the luxury tax for a shooting guard, but then
for
they
a
immediately
solid month and a half.
Well, no, they were in there for the whole season, but then Derrick Rose suffered another setback, and they said, "All right, well, we tried to give it. Derrick couldn't go." Now, I'm not excusing it because to me, again, I still think, what was the name of the? I can't remember the shooting guard that we had, the foreign guy, Marco
Bellinelli.
Marco Bellinelli. Yeah. I still think he would have looked good, really good next to Derrick Rose, but ultimately Derrick couldn't stay healthy, and the Bulls did what the Bulls do best, and they said, "Oh yeah, that money that we were spending, we didn't like that too much."
That's the problem, though. You know what I mean? Like you're not trying to compete. You're only trying to compete if it puts you in the best case scenario. You're just trying to be competitive enough for people to show up. By the way, the people that show up aren't fans. I'd say 75% of that building, you got corporate in there. Good job. You ever been? Me and you been to Bulls games, right? You sit in there. It's quiet as a church mouse for most of the game till something happens. Till the Bulls win, or they put the stupid meter up there and they say cheer, and then here come the video crew and they pan through the crowd. Then they put that out and be like, "Great crowd at the UC tonight." It wasn't a great crowd. You had a bunch of dudes having meters. It's the same crap that we have with both sides of town, or both teams in this town that are owned by Jerry Reinsdorf, and it's Jerry Reinsdorf mandate. I'm sorry. This is. I almost feel bad for what AK has had to go through over the last few months, because I can't sit here and tell you how many moves AK hasn't had his hands tied with.
Oh, I mean, AK also did come out and say that he had the green light from ownership, even if it did mean a rebuild. And apparently that wasn't the case, because you didn't even have the green light to get a top 10. Well, again, they didn't know at the time it was going to be a top 10 pick, but still.
I mean, here's the thing, though. How many green lights have been vetoed by ownership? This ain't new.
That's the thing. Then it's not a green light. But
that's what I'm saying. I get you. But like the Zach LaVine deal, vetoed. Why? Well, we don't feel that that's enough. Now you're never going to get a deal anywhere close to that, and he hates being a part of this team. Like it makes it difficult to go into next season as a fan excited. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I know that Jerry Reinsdorf and the ownership group cares nothing about winning in this town. They don't care to spend money on players. They don't care to go over the luxury tax. And I'm fine with you not going over the luxury tax if you don't feel that your team is worth it. But dang it, make your team worth it.
Well, the thing is I mean, spending the luxury tax isn't the end all be all. I think 9, 10 teams didn't pay the luxury tax last year. About half of those end up making the playoffs. It's just about, you got to be smart. And so like, it's a combination of you're reluctant to spend money. Sometimes you have to spend money to get off of bad deals. How many times do we see a team take on some bad contracts for a while, but guess what you get when you take on bad contracts? They usually have to send picks to compensate you for that, which then if you draft smart, you're out of the luxury tax and you got some good talent here. Like nothing the Bulls do ever coincides with anything that we've seen typically work for these teams. So I don't know, bro. This is where we are, man.
It's a bad organization. You're a joke of an organization. You thought by changing the pieces around that you were going to be a better organization, but there's one piece at the top that makes it a joke. That's what it comes down to. I'm sorry. Like the Chicago Bulls, good job. Welcome to next season, Bulls fans. It's going to be the same. Welcome to the season after that. It's going to be the same. Stay tuned. We'll keep you covered. Like that's what it is. That's the organization that we have. They're not looking to win. They're not you got a 9th seed. And somebody said, I get it, weaker draft, but we'll give you a top 10 pick for Alex Caruso. We'll add a top 10 pick in for Alex Caruso. And your ownership said, nah, if we lose AC, we're not going to be competitive enough. I'm sorry, did I miss this playoff run? Hey, did we just lose the NBA Finals?
I think so, bro.
Did I miss out on this playoff run that we had? My God.
Yeah, we just changed our jerseys to white and blue. We were just out there, bro. We lost to the Boston Celtics.
We slept through the last month, dog.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bulls made the NBA Finals, and they lost in a tough 6-game series to the Boston Celtics. We missed it. At least that's what Jerry Reinsdorf thinks, because he's sitting at home, half asleep, eating his porridge, trying to figure out when his next Matlock episode is coming on.
Did you say porridge and Matlock?
Porridge. He's sitting at home trying to figure out which channel TV Land comes on.
That is hilarious, bro. Not porridge. This man said porridge.
Bro, it's just I don't know, bro. I'm at a loss for what. When I saw this come across today, I sent this to you. I'm at a loss for words, bro.
I sent it to you. Oh, no. I sent you the other one. Never mind.
We sent topics back, but it's not good. It's not a good day here. But but it makes it tough, because you want to get behind this team. You want to root for this team. You want to believe that something's gonna change. But I swear, prepare yourselves to become the Chicago White Sox.
Well, here's the thing that I'm going to say, and just to end it on a bit of some optimism, because I agree with Pat, but I do want to end it on optimism. Maybe, just maybe, that they woke up. If this really all happened around the trade deadline, hopefully somebody woke up and said, hey, man, listen, we just turned down what would have been a top 10. We could have had a pick in the top 10 and number 11, but you guys wanted to stay competitive. Let's do something different. But the chances of that happening, well, I mean, listen, let's just hope that Jerry Reinsdorf gets a promotion.
Alex Caruso's still on this team.
Yeah, for now.
Nothing changed.
I mean, you can't say nothing changed. We haven't, the offseason hasn't happened yet. We don't know what's going to change.
What changed?
Andre
you could have made
leaving.
A trade. You could have made
Andre Drummond's leaving.
Andre, right? What changed for the positive? Should I say?
Well, technically, nothing can change for the positive yet. We got to see. We're set 8 days away from maybe some change happening. Maybe.
Only change that's happening around here is whatever fall out of Jerry Reinsdorf's pocket.
I mean, that'd probably be a lot of money. He probably walks around with about 10, 12K.
Jerry definitely keep nickels on him just so he can give it to the homies.
All right, we're gonna go ahead. Next up, we're gonna be talking about players that the Bulls brought in for pre-draft workouts. Before we get into that, gotta get into one of the messages from our sponsors, and that is FanDuel. Summertime means baseball, the NBA Finals, and more. You can bet it on all on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $200 you can use to bet on everything from the Finals MVP to who's going to hit one out of the park. By the way, Finals MVP going to Jaylen Brown there. How you feeling about that, Pat?
Solid. Jason Tatum finished with a I'm trying to do the math in my head. I want to say he finished with a 9 plus minus, because he had a -33, a -15, a +19, and a +6. And I think today he finished with another +19. So it's not, Jaylen Brown been cooking all series. Jason Tatum was like, but 2 games though. But he won a championship. He got the ring. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he got the ring. That's the most important thing. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and add a big win to your summer bucket list. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. All right, Pat. So we got notification. You know what? And I wonder if this was leaked out, because this came out a couple of hours afterwards. If they're like, hey, man, we're getting killed right now. We're getting absolutely murdered right now because this Alex Caruso thing. What can we send out there that may bring about a little bit more positivity? Well, the Chicago Bulls had pre-draft draft workouts today for a list that included Ron Holland, Terrence Shannon Jr., Ryan Dunn, Kyle Filipowski, Adam Bona, and Justin Moore. Those last 2 people I've never heard of in my life. How you feel about that? About those workouts, Pat?
Pick the right one. That's really where I'm at with it. Good job. Have fun. Figure it out and pick the right one. And I think there's 2 names in there that I'm excited about. I'm glad that the Bulls at least are sniffing in the right direction, but I mean, they were sniffing in the right direction. Heck, they were literally in the direction when the last time the Bulls had a pick near this high. That would be the number 4 overall pick, and they picked the wrong guy. So pick the right guy this time. Like I'm glad to see that we're looking at Terrence Shannon Jr. I think that him at 11 is not a reach. I think he's that level of player. I think he's got that much talent in his game, and I think, realistically speaking, if you're looking at somebody with star upside, not superstar upside, I don't know if he's got superstar upside, but star upside right now, Terrence Shannon Jr. is the best name on the list. I think Kyle Filipowski fits what this Bulls team really wants to do. But I mean, hell, we know the Bulls. They'll go out there and pick freaking Omar Baluskis from France, and he's like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" Like, literally, what are we at? 2 years in a row now that we've scouted over between the two of us over 200 dudes, and AK's picked none of them.
Yeah, it's been real interesting.
And we've been right, like, kind of a lot.
Yeah, as far as our overall analysis on guys, yeah, it's been we would have hit on more than we
high
missed.
on EJ Liddell. We probably, but
yeah, but then he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So it is what it is when it comes down to that. But it looks like the thing with this is that a couple of these names are slated to go into the second round. Does this mean the Bulls may be open to buying a second round pick?
I mean, I think that is something that we've seen the Bulls be willing to do over the last couple of years. Yeah. I mean, even going back and getting Julian Phillips last season. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bulls tried to buy their way back into the second round. I think that this is a draft where it's like role player talent. So, by the second round, you may be able to find somebody who, for the cheap, who is a sleeper pick that you can stash. Like, we know there's always a guy every year that we want to stash in the G League, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see one this season as well.
Yeah, Justin Moore is definitely somebody who has that potential to end up being that. This is a guy who's a senior from Villanova. What am I talking about? Villanova. Yeah, that pronunciation was wild. And he kind of fits the mold of like a role player. Averaged 12 points per game during his 5-year career there, 41% shooting from the field, 34% shooting from 3-point range, taking 5.5 per game. I could definitely see the Bulls biting at that if he's an undrafted rookie.
All right.
Yeah.
That was close. That was
listen.
A little close there.
It is what it is.
That might have still been crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
It is what it is.
More I think about that. Not that one. Oh, give it a second. And that was a little crazy. No, I mean, listen. I think that the part that I guess excites me about going out and the Bulls looking at these players is, like I said, they're at least barking up the wrong tree or barking up the right tree for once, and it feels like you're looking in the right direction for things that your team actually needs, right? Like, you need a guy who you can have as a for sure scorer that can be consistent. I think Terrence Shannon Jr. can be that. You need a big on this team that also can knock down the three ball. I think Kyle Filipowski can be that. At least you're looking in the right direction.
You think hitting the three as the Bulls' next big is a requirement? Just a question.
I think that if you're gonna go big man, he probably has to hit the three. But I will say this, right? Like, he has to be elite at something that you don't have. I'm not going to say that three has to be the requirement. He has to be elite at something that you don't have. Because to me, right, if you go Donovan Clingan, he's not an elite big shooting a three. But there's a lack of shot blocking on this team. I think that he can add to that. I think Kyle Filipowski also can add to that in some ways, right? Like, so I think that, to me, if you're going to be a big man, like, you have to come in with a calling card already. And for me, Filipowski's is the fact that he can knock down that three ball as the trailer and take it off of the rim and go down the other side of the court and be able to handle the basketball, right? So, like, I think he can
take it off the rim and handle the ball.
That's why I didn't say it that way. See, once again, back to you. It's nuts out here. Hey, yo. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, the Bulls got me all discombobulated tonight, bro.
Hey, that first topic really took the energy out of you, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, it pisses me off, bro, because it pisses me off because of what we about to talk about, right? The Celtics winning their 18th title. Since I've been alive, the Celtics have won 2 NBA championships. They've been to 5 NBA championships.
They've been to 5?
They've been to 5 NBA championships because they went to 4. Has Tatum been to 3 or 4? Or has Tatum been to 2 or 3?
I think 2, right?
So they've been to 4 NBA championships since I've been alive. They've
4.
won.
Where's the third coming at? So you had the Kevin Garnett team.
I mean, 7 Celtics. Paul Pierce Celtics went twice.
I thought they failed in the Eastern Conference Finals. They went twice.
No, they played the Lakers twice. They lost once.
Oh yeah, you're right. I almost forgot about that series. I almost completely forgot about this series.
Yeah,
good point.
So it irritates my soul, bro, when it's like, dog, like I feel like this team like half-assed its way to this point at times. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, we kind of got there. And the Bulls can't even be bothered. Bulls have won in this is tough. Cover your ears, Bulls fans, if you don't want to hear bad news. Bulls have been to the playoffs in the last 24 years. And I believe it's 16% of their seasons or 17% of their seasons. It's not fun. I'm 29. I'll be 30 in a month. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you hate to see a team that's just like, no, it's okay. We don't need to compete. F it. We'll see you next year.
See, no, that's the thing. They compete. They don't contend.
No,
like anybody's can. Technically every team in the NBA competes. Competing just means you go out there and give it a try.
But see, I don't. That's my problem. I don't even think you're giving it a try. Giving it a try means I'm gonna put my best foot forward. Our best foot is freaking Kobe White.
No, see, the problem is that we did put our best foot forward, but the foot was fine. The knees didn't stand up.
We put our best foot forward, but dang it, that knee.
Those knees said, hey, yeah, nah.
Oh, God. I hate this team. Hey, let's do this ad read, man. Gotta let you guys know before we talk about the Celtics and their 18th NBA championship. We got 6. We got to let you know about eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula of winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. Oh, the Celtics know something about that. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered with over 122 million parts. For your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to take your car, the MVP, and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers.
You know what? I got to put the sound clip on the board because after that first topic, all I want to do is, my boy, look what they did to my boy. Like, they killed Pat's spirit, bro. I talked to Pat. When we talked, we recorded, we did Bleacher Report. We talked on the phone about 3. I've talked to you about 4 or 5 times today. You've had energy the whole entire day. And now it's just like,
it's just hearing it, bro. Like, just hearing, like, we don't give a F. It's like, why am I giving an F? like why am I the one bleeding red every day?
You know, the thing that I wish Jerry Reinsdorf, and I know we're here to talk about the Celtics in the segment, but seriously, to just loop it all back, the thing that I really wish that Michael, Jerry, whoever at some point realizes that you're going to make the money, just build a team that wins. Like, the Bulls have such a great fan base, bro. They have supported the team through bull crap. At some point, you got to realize, if you just build something that wins, you're going to get even more money. You're going to get, the money's going to be there, Jerry. The money's going to be there, bro. It took 12 years of struggle for us to drop out the top 5 in attendance. 12 years? You could build a whole dynasty in 12 years. It's okay, Jerry. It's all going to be okay, bro.
And that's the part that sucks. I think that's the part that irritates me. And it does tie into this, right? The Celtics winning their 18th championship. The Celtics continue to go for it. They continue to risk moves. They continue to say, if we fail this season, we're not going to give up. We're going to come back next season and try this again. They block out the noise. Jason Tatum has basically been getting called a bum since he didn't win an NBA championship in his first year trying to get there, right? Like he's dealt with all of that. And at 26 years old, this young man just won his first NBA championship. And he's probably going to play at a minimum 10 more years. That, like, if you invest in your product and if you invest in your team, it'll be a miracle what you see happens around the city. It'll be a miracle how much merchandise you'll sell. It'll be a miracle how much people support this team, how much your ticket prices will raise, and people will still come to the games. And the problem that I have is like with all of this, and it's probably the biggest problem that the Bulls have, the fact that we have an owner who's stuck in what worked for him in 1991. I don't see a time soon where we'll be hoisting this trophy above our heads. I don't see a time soon where we'll be doing a Locked On Bulls for a championship Chicago Bulls team. At all. Unless by some miracle Kobe White turns into a superstar. But I don't think there's enough dribble too much in this in his game to for that to happen.
It's always funny seeing you like this, Pat.
Bro, it sucks, bro. Like it sucks. And it sucks the most because it's like I'm getting it from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, but they're both owned by the same man, Emperor Palpatine himself.
Bro, it's just the fact that like you
rise,
bro. That's the worst part of it too. It's like when you look at the White Sox, it's just so many similarities. Just an unwillingness to try and build a team like a modern NBA team. The White Sox have an unwillingness to build their team like a modern baseball team. Our highest paid player, there's players signing for $700 million in that league, in baseball, in Major League Baseball. Our highest paid player of all time is Andrew Benintendi.
Yeah, it's just like
he makes $79 million.
It's just like with the Bears too. Like at least the Bears are seem to be on the right path. But like Montez Sweat has the highest annual salary of any Chicago Bear ever because we just have cheap franchises, bro. Like
no, but I think here's my difference with the Bears and the Bulls, right? Like to me, the Bears are doing things like they got their footing back, right? Realistically speaking, this is Georgia's second regime.
Yeah, and the Bears are on the right path. The Bulls don't have a path yet. We're not even on the path. We're lost in the woods.
In the woods.
Listen, this is Locked On. If we were on Bull Central, I'd say it a lot differently. So
I mean, listen, I don't even know if we're in the woods, dog. We're in the desert right now, in the middle of the desert, and we keep seeing Oasis. It's just going, oh God, is that Eddie Curry? I gotta get over there. Oh no, it's terrible. Oh God, it was sand. It was sand. What is that Doug McDermott? Oh, it's more sand.
Having to root for Eddie Curry is literally one of the pits of hell.
Like, worse. We got to root for Patrick Williams.
That's a you thing.
Whatever. I don't know, man. Shout out to the Celtics winning the 18th championship, and shout out to Jaylen Brown. You got like 4 months to win 4 more, so you can stop lying to Taylor Rooks.
Anyway, let's get up out of here, bro.
Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer, and you figure it out.
You guys can follow me at CEO Haize, man. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. We are free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube. We up out of here. For Pat the Designer, it's been Locked On Bulls, y'all. Peace. You should have took a PTO day.